there was a man sent from God whose name was John. The same came for a witness. Now it's talking about his purpose. Okay, he was sent, but he was also bearing witness. There was an affirmation part of his sending. Now, I was having a conversation with a brother the other day, and we was talking about licensing and paperwork and all those things like that. You know, when you start looking into the scriptures and getting all that, especially when you come to the book of Acts, you see that the brethren, when it was time to find someone to replace Judas, they didn't turn around. They didn't look at based off of the credentials or based off one who just accompanied them and walked with them. Okay. They went to the Lord. They went to prayer, and they came to the point of saying, hey, listen, if we're going to choose someone, we want someone to be qualified based off the Spirit, and who's the Spirit decides should replace. All right. Our brother. Now let's move on here. All right. Now, this is the thing. There was an affirmation. Paul got affirmed by who? By Ananias. Then Barnabas came. So there was always in the scripture, there was always someone who bear witness and record of your calling and bear witness and record of your office. All right. Bear witness and record of your gift. The Lord always has someone, because you need someone in the earth to affirm you to the other people who just don't believe. All right, this is the way the Lord works. The Lord understands that people aren't going to believe, especially when you have a bad track record or a bad history. The Lord needs someone to, not just because he just needs someone. No, because you have people who don't believe, and you have people who have great credibility. So if you're one who has great credibility, the Lord will use you. All right, because your credibility amongst man is solid. So he'll use you to affirm someone else when others question their character, when others questions their calling. No, one who has a great credibility amongst the brethren will sit here and say, hey, listen, hey, man, no, the Lord has called him to do this, or called him to function in these offices, and I bear witness of the gift. That's the same thing came with Ananias. The same thing came with Barnabas when it came down to them affirming Paul to the brethren because of Paul's reputation. All right. Now let's keep reading here. Verse number 7, the same came for a witness, to bear witness. This is John the Baptist we're talking about here. Bear witness of the light. He came to bear witness of the light. Okay, that all men through him might believe. All right. Verse number 8. He was not that light. John was not that light. Okay, but was sent to bear witness of that light. All right. There's always someone who's going to be a witness. Okay. This is just how this thing. God is a God of order. He's a God of care. He's all about edification, making sure everybody is edified. This is why he has certain rules, even when it comes down to tongues. And that's a whole nother conversation. And I don't want to get into that type of topic of lesson, but I'll do that later on. But what I'm saying is that there's always order. It's always about edification, making sure that the people can be on one accord and in agreement when it comes down to things that is done within the assembly or within the body of believers. All right. Now let's keep reading here. It says right here, verse number 8, he was not that light, but he was sent to bear witness of that light. That was the true light, which lighteth every man that cometh into the world. Now see that? There's the word world again. All right. He was in the world. Now you have to know the difference between eon and cosmos. All right. All right. These are two different terms for dealing with the word world. Okay. Now let's keep reading here. He was in the world, and the world was made by him. All right. The world was made by him, and the world knew him not. There it is. The world was made by him, and the world knew him not. All right. Now let's keep going here. Verse number 11. He came unto his own. Stop right there. He came. You want to know what? Understand John 3:16 in the word world? It's right there.